Great. Okay, so welcome to the October 2023 Branch Development Committee Peer Group meeting. We're excited to see all of you. This is a great turnout. These peer group meetings are a monthly program for branch leaders, including presidents, president-elect, program chairs, membership chairs, nominating committees, and others who might be interested in your branch. I'm Sigrid Morans, and I'm a director for leadership development. You've already met Sharon Siebert. Sharon is the director for branch support. And our speaker tonight will be Marcia Swales, who is also a board director for membership. So please stay muted, and this will be recorded, and then we'll send out a link to show you how to get to this if there's somebody else that you need to have watch this. Okay, so every month we're going to present topics of interest to the leadership teams across California. We'll be showcasing a tremendous talents and diversity of our membership, as well as providing time for some engaging discussions. And we will have plenty of time for Q&A and discussions this evening. Some of our upcoming topics are going to be in November, best practices for recruiting new members. And then in January and February, we'll have a two-part recruiting and training leaders. And then we will go in March with engaging and retaining members and leaders. And then in May, acknowledging and rewarding members and leaders. So each month we're going to ask branches to submit their best practices and success stories, and we'll compile them and share them with you in the next meeting next meeting of this committee. So we have topics scheduled all the way through May, and our program always begins at 7 on the 4th Tuesday of the month. And we're going to put our website in the chat. It has our schedule and links to all of the past recordings. Also, at the end of our Q&A, if you would stay on after that, we have some announcements about the next meeting. So thank you for coming to hear Marcia Swales present the newly completed membership toolkit. And if you have any questions as we go along, please put them into the chat. And after Marcia finishes with her presentation, Sharon will then go through the questions and read them out to us and get answers to as many as we can. So now we are going to hear from Marcia, and we're going to take me and Sharon off.
Okay, so you are seeing my screen, I hope, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Sorry, I was a little premature on that. I got excited. Hi, I'm Marcia Swales, and I am on the board of directors, as Sigrid said, and I have been charged with responsibilities related to membership. And I will have to say that over the last year and a half of meeting with many, many members across the state, I have learned so much and tried to incorporate a lot of the things that I've learned from you into this toolkit. You were given it yesterday. I hope all of you had at least time to scan through it and to kind of see what we're focusing on tonight. But I wanted to just quickly show you the table of comments, table of contents. You can see that part 1 deals with membership roles. Part 2 is attracting new members to your branch. Part 3, the ins and outs of managing membership. And then part 4, keeping your members. We will have, if you have questions, I would really appreciate it if you would put them in the chat. Sharon is going to kind of scroll through those and decide if there's similar questions, how we can kind of make them into one question so there's not a lot of duplication. I will try not to talk forever. My goal is to keep it at a half an hour. And I have my clock running, so I hope I can do it. Okay, so you can see I've highlighted some things here that I want to particularly call to your attention. The branch membership contact, and we went with the word contact because different branches call the membership person by different names. It could be membership VP, it could be membership chair, whatever your branch uses, it's still the membership contact because this is the primary person that will be interfacing with you or your new members, you and National, getting everything set up. The main thing that we are looking for is that you are very familiar with your job. It's located in your branch bylaws and policies, and then there's also information on the state website. One of the things that I'm just going to start out with, and then I'm going to let it go, but one of the things that people are telling us over and over is that they are simply recycling leaders in their branches. What we would like for you to do is have a couple of people involved with you as the membership committee with one person in mind that will be your successor. Leadership development needs to happen over a period of time. You cannot just say, oh, you're brand new to the branch, will you be president, which happens. So we want to be able to develop the skills because there's a lot to membership that takes a little bit of finesse in order to balance everything between national, state, and your branch. The community hub, the bane of our existence, as I understand, is a place where we can track our members. We can see when they need to renew. The branch president, membership contact, and finance leader have access to this. So if you have questions about it and you haven't learned how to use it yet, there is probably someone in your branch that can be a mentor to you. Oh, I also want you to know we are really hoping that you will look at the various webinars related to branch membership. One of the important webinars, and one of the things I tried to do when I wrote this resource is to embed links to either national, state, or whatever, for you to be able to more easily find resources that you're going to need. So there is a webinar that was produced last year, August of 22, that deals specifically with the hub. And I would encourage you, if you're brand new, particularly to the membership role, that you look at this. It will be incredibly helpful to you. And I will go over webinars a little bit later in the presentation. One of the things that we try to do is set a goal for growth for the state. And we should also ask you to set a goal for growth within your branch. I belong to a branch that has about 60 members or so. So if our branch would choose to grow by 5%, which really isn't that much, that would be 3 new members. So if you can set an idea of how many members you would like to grow by for the coming year, if every branch did that, we would show amazing growth throughout the state. Another responsibility would be to attend our peer group meetings. We're going to be really covering topics that are relevant to what you have to do. Every month, we hope that the resources provided and the inspirational stories that you're going to hear will help you with planning membership within your own branch. There is a close relationship with the membership treasurer or the branch treasurer to make sure that national, state, and branch dues are properly recorded in the community hub. And here we go with the review of the collection of AAUW webinars. Last year, the membership committee, Donna Lilly was on that and a few others, we put together a webinar about growing California membership. And it is really worthwhile. to watch that. But there are other ones like the care and feeding of volunteers is superb. Of course, the ones related to the hub, they're using the BOD. Being able to do those kinds of things in these various webinars are going to be incredibly helpful, hands-on guides for you to be able to use. The last thing I want to say in this section is about national, and they do offer office hours. And if you have questions particularly related to membership, there is a place where you can register. And you can see that I embedded hot links, so you don't have to go to national. You just click here if you brought this up electronically, and you can sign up there. If you have other questions about membership, go to connect@aauw.org. Okay, so then after the membership contact, we are asking you to think about one or two people in your branch who would be great at this role. We're defining it as the branch ambassador. It's kind of a fun title. And this person actually is more of a mentor to new members. It is far beyond just greeting people when they show up at a meeting. This is a person who actually interacts with the people who arrive, gives them the contact cards, gives them kind of an overview of what the branch is about, gives them a branch flyer, talks to them about what goes on in the branch. And so this is a nurturing, a caring individual. I know many branches are already doing this. They just don't have a name for the person who's doing it. So I hope that we can make this more common and to be able to say we have branch ambassadors throughout the state. You can see that I listed quite a few responsibilities here, but the contact card, you can see that we've created a template for you that can be customized to your branch, that gives information about the individual who is attending. And then provide new attendees with any flyers or brochures describing AAUW in the branch. A general flyer for California branches is available here. You click on that and you will see that there is a flyer that was designed for us by Dowager Advertising, and it's beautiful, and it can be customized to your branch if you don't have a branch brochure already. It really does a nice job of providing an overview of AAUW. It's important to introduce new attendees to other members to make them feel seen and welcomed. Make sure you ask about their interests and invite them to visit branch activities that would attract them. One thing we always love to know is how new attendees heard about us. Maybe it was through friends. Maybe there was something that they saw in the local paper. Maybe they heard about it because somebody was in Tech Trek and they said, oh, I'm interested in helping with something like that. So there are all kinds of reasons, and we need to connect and have common conversations about that to say, wow, this is amazing. And then this is where the branch ambassador is kind of maybe different than what we think about, but that is interacting with these potential members outside of that initial meeting. Follow up with them with an invitation to coffee, and then several branches, many branches may do this, plan a new member orientation. I had the opportunity to just go to a branch a couple of weeks ago, Redlands. They acquired 35 new members at that particular event that I attended, and they were going to hold a branch new member orientation for these new members, which I was just blown away when I attend a medium-sized branch and to see what numbers can do and the enthusiasm. It was awesome. And the branch ambassador also should be on the lookout for connecting with other like-minded community groups. When we hear about maybe the League of Women Voters or, I don't know, DAR. I don't know, you have biases about that, but it could be women who are all committed to the same mission, and that is improving and enriching the lives of women. Then we have the branch membership committee. So I truly do believe that having one single person as the membership chair, membership VP is not very effective. This is important to spread the joy. This should include your branch or membership treasurer. And please appoint 1 or 2 branch ambassadors and have regular meetings. You can talk about new members, you can talk about strategies, you can talk about things that were successes for you, but it's important that you are not working all alone in your little membership silo. That is not particularly comfortable. And I think it would really help all of us if we could share in the responsibilities of growing our branches. The second section is probably the most important in the entire toolkit, and it is how do we attract new members to the branch? And so I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this. Please just be patient with me. I'm only 10 minutes into this, so I think I'll make it. But building your brand. This is your story. Every branch has a story, and it is a powerful marketing tool and allows you to attract new members. Branding is authentic messaging. It comes from your hearts. It comes from the personality of your branch, and that is what makes it attractive. We can all look to our history. Everybody can tell this story from heart that AAUW started in 1881. It was the story of women who decided to create an organization celebrating education with the hope that it would encourage other women to achieve higher education as well. I was talking with my husband about this tonight. He's a lawyer. And he said that when he was in law school, out of a class of 200, there were only 4 women. And now 60% of that law school is women. Can't you imagine how these women in 1881 would have just celebrated that idea? And it's true in all kinds of STEM things. You think about engineers, you think about mathematicians, you think about people who are truly on the cutting edge of a lot of these technological areas. And it's because they were able to have the opportunities to get the education they needed to use their intellect and their abilities to create. So if you think about this, what is the story of your branch? What is your branch history? Like my branch is going to turn 75 like next year. And there's a lot of history there and a lot of people who have gone through the branch ranks that have incredible stories. What are some important events that your branch has celebrated? Tell me about some incredible members of your branch and what kind of recognitions has your branch received? These things are your story. And those things then is what makes your branch attractive. People want to belong to something that is meaningful. So if you think about what makes your branch attractive, then think about things that you do well. Is it Tech Trek? Is it providing local scholarships or sending people to Nick Whistle? Is it community engagement? Is it your interest groups? Do you have a rock star wine club? Do you have a great reading group? Do you have a great hiking group? All of these things are attractive, and they are things you should be bragging about. The other thing that I want you to think about is this. I go back to what our state is doing. On every document you receive, you probably see this tagline. I absolutely adore this. I hope we keep it because it is what I believe in. It is linking together for a mission. And just by looking at the hair color, you can see that is a representative of a variety of races and cultures. And that is who we are. We need to be inclusive. We need to be excited. We need to say, yes, this is our story. This is our spirit. This is who we are as a branch. Come join us. So if you already have a tagline, then use that. But please be purposeful in it and advertise that with every bit of publicity that goes out about your branch. Many branches have a branch brochure. My branch has a beautiful brochure, and I'm going to highlight that pretty soon. But I have seen many other branches who have like a trifold or a one-page brochure. And these are the things that you should probably be thinking about it. Does it tell the story of your branch with pictures? If you have too much text on the page, nobody will read it. There's a rule, particularly if you're a politician, you need to create those things that end up in people's mailboxes. They're going to read it from the mailbox to the front door, and then it goes in the trash. And if it's based in pictures and it's attractive, then people say, I might vote for that person. That's cool. If there's too much text, right in the trash, and they know nothing about the person. It's the same thing with our branches. Does your brochure reinforce your mission and history and values? Do you have a QR code, quick response? Those are those cute little things that showed up during the pandemic. You would go because they didn't want you to touch menus. So you would take a picture of the QR code and the menu would pop up. Well, now QR codes are used everywhere. And if you have a code and prospective members of your branch can take a picture of it with their phone, the cool thing is that QR code will take them directly to the website for your branch. On your brochure, do you have multiple points of contact? Does it list social media connections? Are you on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, whatever? And back to this, is the text succinct? Keep it short, keep it meaningful, choose your words carefully. Does it share the benefits of membership? Does it show your interest groups? Does it show opportunities to volunteer? And most importantly, is there a call to action to join? And does it show them how? Okay, so here is the toolkit or the brochure from my branch, which is Beach Cities, and people get confused. Where's Beach Cities? We have beaches all up and down California, but this is the Beach Cities in southern LA. We're called the South Bay. And we have many, many cities that are part of that crescent that go all the way up to Malibu. So this is what our brochure looks like. If you can enlarge it, that would be great. But you can see that there's a promise to members. We have a clear call to action, which is on the back panel, and our QR code. And then multiple points of contact. It shows the web, it shows email, it shows Facebook and Instagram. And then do the visuals and graphics convey your branch personality? We have lots of young women of various cultures who are part of our branch, and many of them are Tech Trek alumni, but they are active in our branch and we adore them. And then the name and logo present all communication. That should be on everything. You will see later that there's a recommendation that you put the date that your branch began in a place like that. So ours doesn't have that. We should change it, but it's pretty effective. And then what does good branding look like in your communications? Well, you should have a place that reinforces your mission and the history and values. It highlights your programs. This would be a great place to describe your interest groups. It shows who we are, just a big picture of these wonderful girls, various ethnic groups. Does it define ways to engage with your branch? And does it emphasize brand values, who you are, what you represent? Now, if you're interested in this particular flyer and you would just like to be able to download it, click here That's a very simple tool. And then, just so you know, over the last year, working with our advertising company, they created a one-page flyer for AAUW California that can be personalized to your branch. If you don't have a branch flyer and you would like to have one so that you can distribute it to new members around your community at events, why don't you contact Web Team and say, we're interested in this flyer. Can you add the specifics of our branch to it? It's not a lot that they will add. It will be contact information and your name, but you will be very impressed. And you can look at the flyer by clicking there. If you want to change it and personalize it, then contact the AAUW Web Team. Marketing materials can be created. If you have people in your branch with great tech skills, canva.com is amazing. Our communications chair uses Canva, and that beautiful brochure is a product of Canva. It's maybe a little tricky, but people with those skills certainly could use it. And the wonderful thing is it's free to nonprofits. So it also includes templates, photography, fonts, graphics, and editing tools. Make sure that you add your QR code. And one thing that we've done in my branch, and I'm sure this happens in other branches, but we have an official photographer, and she is a part of our communications team. And at every meeting, she's walking around with her camera. She's taking pictures to document events, awards, outreach, speakers, the new officers when they are sworn in. I mean, it doesn't matter, but these photos then end up in our branch newsletter and also on our webpage. And then this is where it says include your branch charter date everywhere. And I love this idea. Include a did you know section in every newsletter that goes out from your branch, and then drop an interesting tidbit from the branch's past. And a lot of you have some great stories. Now, putting the word out about our branch, a lot of us are very hesitant to say, well, you know, nobody knows who we are, but there's some simple ways to do it. Identifying free media outlets is the best way to get the AAUW name out there. I was very amused. I'll just tell you a funny little story. Not too long ago, my husband and I went out to dinner with another couple, and I was trying to talk about my volunteer work with AAUW. And the husband of the other couple looked at me and he said, so you're in the American Auto Workers Union? And so that was like, no, let me start over and tell you what that is. But there is confusion about who we are. And so we need to make sure that we get that name out there and celebrate who we are. There are various free outlets that we can use. The Nextdoor app, I love. I'm on Nextdoor, and it connects with various communities close by. And not too long ago, there was a woman who said, I just moved to the South Bay, and I'm highly educated. I love intellectual stimulation. I want to be with a group of women who share my kind of interests and conversations. So I reached out to her on Nextdoor, and I invited her to come to one of our meetings. I didn't see her, but at least I made the effort. I tried to put it out there. Nextdoor is kind of your neighborhood gossip rag, I guess. You hear about every coyote sighting in your community, but it is really a good way to connect. And a good place to put, like if you're going to have a special event, put it on Nextdoor and invite people to come. You might be surprised at who shows up. There's another community newsletter that is really awesome, and I registered for that not too long ago. It's called Patch. And you can click on Patch and it'll bring up to the website. Throughout the world, throughout our country. I don't know where Patch goes, but Patch connects to communities nearby. So if you have something coming up in your branch and you want the community to know about it, put it on Patch. And it's interesting, after you create a profile and submit your news items, Patch actually sends the same notice and information to other nearby communities. So it's a great way to be able to spread information out. Of course, it's going to take maybe some money, not a lot, but it's really important that you create banners or posters, other items with AAUW on it. Office Depot, we used to use a different company, but Office Depot is really good at creating these inexpensively. And if you click on discounts, you will see how that you can become a discounted customer of Office Depot. The other thing that we are encouraging people to do is to host meetings at community centers or libraries on a topic of interest to your community. If you live in a fire zone and you want to have a meeting at your local library about being prepared for the fire season, and you have a great speaker on that topic, invite the community. Just make sure that during the course of the meeting that you describe AAUW, and don't be afraid to ask people to join. And people who do join at these public events can use the Shape the Future as an incentive to join more affordably. Also, at every event, have membership applications or potential member forms available, whether it's a Tech Trek celebration, Nick Whistle inviting your people to an event about celebrating the scholarships that you give. Make sure that you have those things available. Beach Cities has acquired several members simply because of Tech Trek. I know that there is a concern about the criteria for tech trekkers, but where I live, it's difficult to find people who don't have at least an AA degree. So many people are qualified to join AAUW. Some of our best members are the people whose daughters went through Tech Trek and they see the value up close and personal. Talked about some local events, march in a 4th of July parade and hold up your banners proudly. Have branch business cards and brochures, distribute them maybe at community centers, 55 plus communities, whatever. Attend meetings of organizations with a similar focus, and there are many of them. The first one that comes to mind, of course, is League of Women Voters, but there are many others. Your community is ripe with people who are wanting to make a difference in the lives of people in your community. It's a great way to partner up, and it's a great way to introduce yourself to some possible new members. I love this one, the elevator speech. We think of politicians who have the same shtick over and over and over again. But what is your 30-second elevator speech? I was in an aqua aerobics class on Friday, and this woman that I've known for a long time, she just said, I am really trying to find a group of women that I can interact with. She's a retired teacher. She's just the demographic that we hope to find. And I said, you know what, Elaine? I've got the group for you, and have sent her a bunch of stuff about AAUW, and she's going to go to a meeting with me next month. And I'm really excited that she spoke up and that my 30-second elevator speech seemed to work because she was excited about it. We always need to know, though, what's in it for me. People are asking that. Why should I join your group? What's in it for me? So that should be a part of your elevator speech. Is it the satisfaction of making a difference? Is it the story of a young girl who went to Tech Trek and came home and said, now I know what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be an engineer. Those are the things that people want to connect to, because a lot of people have the same dreams and hopes that we have who are in the organization. Action groups, I love this as well. These are groups more focused on short-term specific actions for those who are more interested in doing than in talking. We talk a lot about like, I don't know, social justice issues. That's very attractive to the younger cohort of women. And so we need to make sure that we are including in our language opportunities and events that will appeal to that desire to make a difference by doing. This one, social media. Not a lot of people who are like, I graduated high school in 1970. We didn't have social media. I look at my grandchildren right now, they're always on social media, TikTok or Instagram, whatever. And I am so impressed by how people are so connected to those things. Just so you know, the state organization working with our advertising committee has determined that educators are the cohort that we are going to go after right now. We were able to get free advertisements through Google for $10,000 a month to place ads on LinkedIn and Google sites. Well, Google, LinkedIn, we have to pay for their ads. Sorry, I misspoke. But can you imagine being able to have AAUW sent out in those little ads? You know how you say, oh, I want to buy a pair of clogs, and you end up getting nothing but ads about clogs for the next month. But what if somebody clicked on one of these ads for AAUW? We have a landing page. We have recurring emails that will go out to these individuals to entice them to join. I cannot say what I can't say how this tool of social media, I mean, to me, it's just going to open up all kinds of opportunities for us that we had not considered before. I really and truly do believe that social media is the town square of our day. I mean, my children think I'm old-fashioned because I like Facebook, but it still connects me to people I grew up with. My high school friends that, you know, I graduated 51 years ago, but I'm still connected to my high school friends. I'm still connected to college and old work colleagues and family and friends. The power of social media is to share what is passionate for us and to entice others to be able to join us in a compelling message and mission. I love social media because it builds community and engagement. It shares your branch story and successes, and it promotes events and provides a means to fundraise. We have a 30-something doing our social media in my branch, and I tell you, people know who we are. It's pretty amazing because she updates it all the time. Your social media manager could be your photographer or just a part of your membership team. They should have access to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I don't know if you know what Threads is. When X took over, we were not real happy with Elon Musk, but we did feel like Facebook had an alternative, so we used Threads. Excuse me. And if you like postings, make sure you like them whenever you can. The more likes and shares your posts will, the posts of your branch will be seen more and more. This is where our branch ambassadors come back in. The information from the contact card is so important. It allows the branch ambassador to reach out by email, thanking the person for attending. You can have a stock email response It doesn't have to be genuinely rewritten every time. There can be a potential member email, and I wrote a template that is here, so you could click on that. The branch ambassador then goes the extra mile and invites this person to coffee. And it's important, and some branches do this. I'm thinking of Dawes up in the San Francisco Bay Area, where they bring someone from the branch along to meet with this potential new member, and it really sets the tone for being a part of the branch. Some branches who have several new members joining at the same time set up a meet and greet in person or virtually, and then invite them to a specific meeting. It could be an interest group, it could be a general branch meeting. But one of the things that we discovered is people hook into the interest groups. When I joined AAUW, I joined a discussion group called Women in Transition. It was geared towards women who were newly retired and all of the changes that go on in our lives. And I'm still a part of that group. It's like my mothership. I go there and I get my bucket filled by these women who are in the same stage of life that I'm in. So I cannot say how much investing in getting to know this new member will increase the membership in your branches. I would love it if people took branch ambassador seriously and created a special, large, easily noticed badge for ambassador. You don't need to make a sash, but just something that really says branch ambassador, so that the new potential members will recognize that person and remember who they are. We are right now hoping to really engage at a stronger level with our college campuses. Not only the students, but we are really hoping that we can reach out to faculty and staff to invite them to become members of our branch. It's amazing when the student affiliates actually come to a branch meeting. They energize the group. And in my branch, we did something very cool, which this young woman is so incredibly involved still after 3 years. But we invited her after she received one of our scholarships and actually went to Nick Whistle. We invited her to serve on our board of directors, and she's still there. And she loves it, and she's making her contribution. It's pretty exciting. For college students, of course, your branch needs to decide if you will pay the state and branch membership dues. And you need to be making sure that you are able to underwrite the Nick Whistle attendees. Our branch sends 2. I know other branches send more, but it is an important part of creating that connection to a younger cohort of people. And again, I'm going to mention this one more time, and that is invite parents of program participants to join. We have 3 state programs that are phenomenal. All of you probably know about Tech Trek, but GovTrek is the latest rising star. And if you would go to the GovTrek website on the state website and just see not only the beautiful text, but there are testimonials by young people. There is a young woman who was the winner of last year's GovTrek, and she is one of the most articulate people I think I've ever heard. And I've heard some articulate people, but she was amazing. SpeechTrek, the same thing. If your branch is involved in SpeechTrek, make sure that you are reaching out to their parents or recommending teachers so that they can be invited to join your branch as well. Reach out to new sources, past local scholarship winners, members of other like-minded organizations. New homeowners in your service area. That's where Patch and the other group is. Senior centers, the Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Business Association, and industry associations. This is one thing, and I've mentioned it at other meetings in the past, but turn national members into branch members. In the state of California, we have almost 1,000 national members who reside in California with no branch affiliation. They would be an excellent pool to tap for new members for your branch. And so if you are interested in reaching out to them, please contact the web team. And they have lists of people that are near you that can possibly reach out to you, or you can reach out to them and invite them to become parts of your branch. I'm not going to go into a lot here because I think all of you probably know this, but the ins and outs of managing membership, and it requires some work. And so once again, the community hub is available to you. I just want to make sure that you understand that AAUW California is not managing the hub. It is the national site. And so you need to go through national or connect in order to get that information that you need. Join us, California. I am super duper excited about this. And if you are using the electronic version of this document, AAUW California has totally redesigned its Join Us page. I don't know if you remember how awkward it was last year and the years before. It was a map that was divided up into regions that had nothing to do with the way we find branches in AAUW. And so there have been some very committed and dedicated members who took a long time to figure out the zip codes of all of our branches in the state. And then we're able to create a new map. And if you've looked at the Join Us page, which is so amazing, you will see a map of California with lots of little red bubbles on it. And you type in your zip code, and all of a sudden it brings up the branches nearest to you. So if you are a person, a prospective member who is looking for a place to be a part of AAUW, and they type in their zip code, like if they would come to the South Bay, they will see 3 branches that are really close by that these people could investigate and decide if they would like to join. It's the same up and down the state. I am so excited about this page. I cannot tell you how much easier it is for prospective members to be able to find us and to learn about us and our branches. We've included information about the dues. They tend to be a moving target, it seems like. California has not changed our dues structure in a long time. We're $20 a year. National tends to change their dues structure, so you have to kind of keep up with that. And branches don't have a uniform dues structure. So the new member, when they go to national, they pay their dues in a single payment, and they, using the community hub, it will tell them how much they owe for national, state, and branch dues. And then from national, it is allocated to the various branches and to the state organization. Levels of membership, and all of you probably know this as well. Once again, due schedules are different from various things, but I've included them this way. We have branch members. Branch members pay national, state, and branch dues. Then we have dual members, and they pay national, state, and branch dues to a primary branch and just branch dues to a secondary branch. Paid lifetime membership. This one's a little confusing. I have somebody who's my age who joined as a lifetime member back in when she turned 40, and she's now my age. You can pick, I'm 70 something, I can tell you what. And she is still, she doesn't have to pay anymore because she joined as a lifetime member all those years ago. But the formula is that the current dues level is 20 times the annual rate. So it is then up to the branch to decide about their own local dues. They still need to pay California dues. Honorary life members, oh, oops, what did I do? Honorary life members, these are people who have been members of AAUW for 50 years, and they do not have to pay national. State dues are waived. It is up to the branch to decide about their local dues. They have to apply for this, and I've received a lot of questions this year. Where is the application for honorary life members? So just click here and the application will come up. Shape the Future, I've already mentioned that. This is where a member joins at a public meeting at a reduced rate. The person then needs to contact the local branch for a Shape the Future coupon code. And then when they register as a member, national dues are reduced to half. And once again, if you don't understand Shape the Future, click here. A college student with a future graduation date can become a member with reduced national fees plus state and branch dues. However, students at CU partner organizations, which means that that college is affiliated with us, this group of students must contact their college or university for a coupon code, and memberships are then free to the students. And then those 1,000 pesky national members, they just pay to national, and what they are simply doing is supporting our mission. God bless them, but we need them in our branches. Renewals. This is something that people get confused about. What is the renewal date? And so it is interesting. There's some things that you need to know about it. People wonder, will I be notified if I need to renew? And the answer is yes. Branches who signed up to receive renewal notices automatically will get these from national. Some branches have opted out. They will not get notification renewal notices. So if you are not sure if your branch is already enrolled, or if you want to sign up for renewal notices, contact Connect at aauwca.org, and we will get you to the correct place. There is a 3-month window to renew memberships, and the renewal is exactly 1 year from the last renewal. My renewal is always in May, so I know in May I need to rejoin or to renew. But that 3-month window is there, so if people forget, they certainly can join at a later time. And then keeping your members, I think all of us know that how important this is. Send a new member welcome email. I've already talked about that. Provide a new member packet. My branch has folders with things inserted in the pockets of the folder, then things that are printed that are in a kind of a three ring thing that describes the branch. These are the things that we suggest should be in your new member folder. A schedule of meeting dates and program topics, the branch flyer or brochure, branch leadership, and names of people who can be helpful to contact, information about our projects, longer descriptions of our interest groups, a link to the branch directory or a copy of the printed directory, the newsletter. If these things are online, make sure that the prospective new member has a password for the part on your website that says members only. Send a short bio of the new member to your newsletter editor for highlighting. You should have like a focus on new members place. Make sure that the person is introduced at an upcoming branch meeting. Give the person the new AAUW California Poppy Pin as a token of welcome. If your branch has purchased them, they're on Marketplace if you want to be able to purchase them. And this part I absolutely love, and the state is asking branches to really participate in this, and that is to conduct video interviews with new members. We're calling this an oral history. It probably isn't going to be formally called that, but that's what it is. And if you have members, particularly your older members who have all these vivid memories of AAUW, make sure that you get their voices recorded. And these are so important to share at celebrations like a 75th Diamond Jubilee. Any other important things that might come along in your branch. We do have video interviews for new members, and you can highlight, click on that. And there are sample interview questions that you can use for this. Keeping your members engaged and recognized. We have a California, well, AAUW California created instructions for and a tracking sheet to record the number of members attending various events. And this can be used for future planning to see which activities attract the most people. And once again, the sample tracking sheet and instructions are located here. Don't you love all these embedded? Click on this and you'll get the resource. Once again, every branch member should have a name tag. And I'm sure branches have their own style, but if you want to spend a little money and get the fancy ones from National, you can click here. And you can also use your AAUW membership to get something created at an office supply store. If you're having a meeting where you have time, at the end of the meeting, go around the room and ask people if they have anything they would like to share. It could be a brag. One group that I belong to, every time somebody shares, they put money in a box. Like my grandson graduated at the top of the class. Here's $10 in honor of my grandson. And so it's not only a brag thing, but it's also a little bit of a fundraising thing that you can do. Make sure you have a member news section in your newsletter. Ask longtime members to share what AAUW has meant to them. Periodically hold small listening circles. And there's a description here of what they are, but I think this would be very interesting to share with members in your branch. Engage your interest groups. This is distributing a branch buzz, something to celebrate, a branch accomplishment or braggable moment, something upcoming, an announcement of events within that month, something to volunteer for, a request for help with small tasks. And then one thing I love is ask each group to organize one branch program each year related to their group's theme. If it's DEI or if it's membership or whatever, have them be in charge of your branch program. And then have each interest group prepare a gift basket related to their theme. If you're a book club, books, wine, whatever, exercise equipment for a fitness interest group. We have a film society interest group in my area, which people really love. And then these could be sold at a fundraiser for your branch. Here is the Minnesota Poppy Pin. I wanted something that said AAUW, and our very talented Sandy Gabe created this beautiful navy blue California poppy pin. And each of those little yellow things are those beautiful poppies that I have fell in love with since I've moved here. They're just amazing. They can be used for all kinds of recognition. I suggested earlier that if you have a new member, have them come to the front of the group, give them a California Puppy Pin. Years of service or outstanding contribution, leadership, new member, state project volunteer. What I have realized, and maybe I got this from my teaching career, but when you recognize people and put the spotlight on them, they become motivated to do more. We don't say thank you enough in our branches, and I'm guilty of that. And I'm sure some of you feel like, oh, I should have done more. But by giving a tangible thank you, it really means the world to a lot of people. And then if you want to order California Puppy Pins, there's a here, click on that. And if you go to AAUW Marketplace or Branch Marketplace on the state website, you will see that other branches have things for sale. Redlands branch has a variety of years of service, I think 5, 10, 15, 20, and so forth. Napa County branch has created a beautiful past president pin that is just beautiful. I love it. Named gift honoree. Branches can nominate a named gift honoree for each $750 contributed to the branch. And here are the details for that. And look at that. You can click on Branch Marketplace right there. And then regaining non-renewing members. This is kind of frustrating. I think all of us realize that the membership numbers have been declining. And so we have started the process of reaching out to non-renewing members to understand their reasons. As branches to be able to grow and to understand how they may change the branch culture, that will help people maybe to feel like they belong and that they might like to rejoin. I'm going to be going over the results of the branch or the non-renewing member survey at our next meeting after we talk about the best practices portion of the meeting. But you can see here, I've listed some of the things that we saw that were reasons people felt they didn't want to be a part of AAUW anymore. And it's kind of scary. We need to do better. And here we go. I would like for your branches to be talking about, look at the results of the survey. What can we do better? It's easy to think that we haven't done anything to make somebody feel unwelcome in our branches, but maybe with a little reflection and a little bit of insight, we can say, okay, the way we talk about thus and so, the way we reach out to someone, maybe we should do better on that. So there's opportunities to grow for all of us, me included. And I'm really hoping that you are able to utilize the information that will come from the survey that you'll see next month.
Thank you, Marcia.
Sure, you're welcome.
We're going to go to the questions now. So if you stop sharing your screen,
yes,
that'd be great. And we're going to add Marcia, Sharon. Okay.
Hi, Sharon.
Great.
Sharon, you're on mute.
So I'm going to unmute everybody as
I'm
well.
good. I have unmuted and I have been keeping track of the questions that we have. So there's some that are really important that I think we need to have answered. Branches want to know if both the branch and the member will be notified of their renewal time. Marcia, perhaps you could answer that.
My understanding is that the member will be notified. It is up to the branch membership VP or chair or contact, whatever you're called, to be able to look at national and to look at the renewal dates for all of your members. And, you know, having a checklist of what those are will help you to be able to stay on top of the renewals.
So everybody is concerned about where to find this membership toolkit. It is found on the state website. And so there is a way to get to the state website, and I thought I would try and, Sigrid, do you want to allow me to share my screen and I can do that? Or do you want to
Yeah.
post it?
No,
Either-
you can share your screen. You can.
Okay. So all right, so I'm going to share my screen and of course I'm not the world's best. I thought I had it all set up.
Okay,
So anyway,
I'll go look for it. You answer questions.
okay. So there's going to be both a recording of this event along with all of the chat that is in it, as well as we have the membership toolkit posted on the state website. Everybody that signed up for this particular group meeting was sent an email with this membership toolkit in it, but it is also posted on the state website. So
Sharon,
yes,
it's under branch tools and under membership resources, and there's an article there
right,
that for the membership toolkit. It's
yes.
also under forms and documents in the membership tools.
And so the person who is speaking is our state president, Sandy Gabe. So
Here we go.
one of the other questions that was asked, there were several questions asked about, it is Patch, P-A-T-C-H, and Nextdoor. Threads is a similar posting. So if you all go to, as Sigrid has posted, the branch tools on the state website, the little blue lines at the top, and down below, all kinds of pop-ups come up with regard to finance and marketplace, and also at the bottom, leadership resources and membership resources. And if you scroll down on this particular page, you can also click under membership resources, and that's where the toolkit is also posted. And if you're not taking advantage of the state website, you're losing out on a lot of information. Okay, so another one of the questions that was really important was what happens about people who either want to be dual members or those who didn't rejoin and didn't join and are interested in renewing. How do they go about doing that? So all of that dual membership is part of the community hub. Marcia, you might be able to respond to that a little bit better. And in addition, the question about someone who hasn't renewed and now wants to rejoin. So do you want to answer that, Marcia?
Sure. Dual membership, you pay your national dues and you pay the state dues. And then you pick what will be your primary branch. And you can do that on the hub. And perhaps your branch charges $15 a year for dues. If you want to join a nearby branch as well, and they have a different dues structure, you click on that branch, and then you pay whatever that branch's dues are. But your primary branch is kind of like your home. The secondary branch is what makes you a dual member.
And frankly, we have members from other states. So if you are a member or somebody you know who wants to join, they will join as Peggy Shippen has joined both Oregon and California. So you do have to pay 2 sets of state dues in that case. One of the suggestions was made with regard to getting your branch known in your area. Join the Chamber of Commerce. They also put out a program that you can pay for ads in. And if you're a branch such as mine that covers all of Monterey County, there are a number of chambers of commerce. So that could get to be a little bit expensive. Sandy, perhaps you could respond to someone has asked, where is the teacher landing page that Marcia mentioned? How does someone get to that?
The teacher landing page is not public. It is only accessed from our LinkedIn advertising. So there was a link that was sent out earlier. I don't remember which publication. I think it was in Board to Board that had a direct link, but it's really kind of a behind the scenes for the for educators coming through LinkedIn.
And one of the other serious questions people asked is, since we're trying to go to electronic communications, branches that might not want to have paper copies of brochures. One branch uses their website as basically their brochure.
Mhm.
So the problem then becomes, if your website is not maintained well, those of you who pay, your branches pay Site Resources to maintain your websites. That is a national program, and they are working to update the platform. But it's really crucial that you maintain your website with up-to-date information so that people can reach you. Otherwise, you are invisible. I don't know if the new situation for Site Resources maintained websites will include a QR code or not. There was a question.
However, I just want to add in there, because my branch uses the trifold paper brochure that can be left at public places. The state has the template for a one-page flyer that can be personalized to your branch and could be printed and left at various events or public places. Having both, I think, is the best of both worlds. And, you know, there's all kinds of ways to reach people. There is not one single way to get the message out about your branch.
One branch that had double-digit recruitment of new members a few years ago posted a one-page flyer at Starbucks and Pete's, places where younger people might go to meet, especially now that the pandemic has waned to some extent. And she had little tear-offs with a phone number for her to be able to be reached. So, you know, I don't know if somebody isn't on mute, but if you have someone talking in the background, could you please mute yourself? There was another question with regard to how students could be on a board for a branch when they don't have a degree yet. Well, you notice that in the membership toolkit, it talks about the types of student membership you can have. And so some branches, I presume, have been willing to accept student members as board members.
Right. And I've been on other boards of directors, one for a mental health hospital in Minnesota, and American Red Cross. I was on their board, and I will have to say that it was important to have student board members. It's a special position. They are seeking a degree. It's not, but the young woman who is on our Beach Cities branch is a college graduate. She is now working on her master's, and she was a Nick Whistle participant. So there are all kinds of ways to get our younger members who have been a part of the AAUW family and community to get them involved on our board.
So that's the question with. That's the question with regard to paper contacts and paper brochures, multiple ways to reach out. Let's see, Fee, is that how you pronounce your name? Fee Dai? You have your hand up. You have a question?
Yes. I'm here from the Fremont branch with my membership chair, Joe. And we have a question about student membership fee, because my daughter, who was a junior at UC Santa Barbara, who was a member of AUW, and they host Tech Trek every year. So she was
Mhm.
charged a full $38.81, and I was told by another officer that any university member, any students that join from university members of AUW, they're supposed to be, I guess, is the membership fee supposed to be free? So, yeah, can you clarify for, yes, university and college members, if they join from a non-AUW member university or college, then
Yes.
national, state, and branch fees are, yes, are of course valid. But what about those who actually are members?
We have college affiliates, and if our college is affiliated with AAUW, that means that the student can go and get a coupon code
Sorry.
from the college and then use that to apply for membership to AAUW.
I'm sorry, our connection got cut off. Can you repeat that again? So sorry.
That's okay. You're kind of fuzzy too. What it means is if they are joining AAUW through a college affiliate, that means that the college it has connected with AAUW. They have faculty who are members of AAUW. Then the young person can join for the reduced amount for free, but they must get the coupon code from their college. And so they need to find out who their AAUW representatives are at the college to get the code, and then they can enter that upon applying to be a member.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I'm sorry, there's another concern with regard to dual members. Someone from a particular branch said that National told them that they had to join directly through the second branch rather than on the community hub. I know that when you're renewing, and if you're a member of multiple branches, you need to do it all at the same time on the hub. But otherwise, I'm assuming that this is meaning that they need to reach out to the second branch and have them handle the membership for that branch. Is that correct, Marcia?
I believe that's true. I mean, you can join multiple branches at once, but if you decide a little bit later, oh, I'd like to be a member of that branch as well, then you should go through their branch treasurer and make that happen.
So Anne was asking if there's any way to easily reach the toolkit without going onto the state website. And if you signed up for this event, you received it in email version.
No, I did not.
Oh,
It
okay.
was sent out yesterday.
No, and I got no reminder of the meeting either,
It was,
so.
it was not
That
a
was the reminder.
reminder. It was an email that had a link to tonight's session, not a link, but telling you to register. And there was an attachment there.
I will
So-
check, but I don't think so, because anyway, okay.
I will
It
take
was
care
not
of
an
sending it to you, Anne. You're my membership vice president, my branch.
And just a clarification, it wasn't an attachment, it was a link in the email that would allow you to get to the document and then look at it and download it if you wanted to.
So Sandy, this is another interesting question. She said she had a recent member Google Redlands Professional Women Organizations, and the branch website did not come up. And she was wondering if there's any way to manage search engine optimization functions for websites that are managed through site resources.
Well, I don't know exactly what the person put into their search criteria, but based on what you told me, it didn't have AAUW. Our website probably doesn't have just professional women in it. If one of our terms was used, it probably would have come up. But
Okay.
it's not going to necessarily find like
Well attended. Yeah, yeah.
So Toby, you have your hand up, I noticed. We can't hear
You're
you. You're on mute.
I just want to make sure we're.
Your audio is not working, Toby.
Yep, unfortunately. All right, somebody else asked if we can convince Site Resources to load the new logo. Well, as soon as they start working on the new platform, I'm sure they will be doing that. Sandy put in the chat, notice a link to the Welcome Educators information.
Was
I
Dawn.
think that was
Oh,
Dawn.
Dawn, thank
Dawn.
you so much, Dawn. I appreciate it. So, how many of you know about Nick Whistle? Do you know what this is? Because Nick Whistle has been
It's a great
brought
program.
up. The information on Nick Whistle is on the national website, and it's not Nick as in Nick as in Nicholas. It is NCCWSL, National Collegiate Conference of Women Student Leaders. Nick Whistle. So
Excellent
that's
program.
So, how do we
superb
know,
program.
how do we know when the new member joins?
I don't
Pardon me?
know.
You should be sent
I
an
think Chris
email
should.
from headquarters that
Does
says
she-
that somebody has joined.
What?
Who does she tell that a new member has joined?
Julam?
I'm sorry, I don't know who's talking, and I'm trying to cover this with regard to how I define the peer-to-peer meetings. Again, this will be available via a link, which will be
Okay, so I think from now on,
sent
as
out.
soon
Okay,
as
so
we
who,
process the membership application,
Fee,
she
could you please mute yourself? Thank you. All right, so let's see what else. Members at large, the 1,000 members that are national members. There was somebody who listed the information that they had reached out via email to all the members in their service area, and they did get one new member from that. You know, if you get a 1-to-10 ratio, that's doing pretty well, given the kinds of statistics we have been made aware of.
Just don't talk.
Jenny Hatfield.
Yeah, Jenny has.
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the team that put this toolkit together. I don't know how long it took you, but it is very comprehensive. It covers things that we have discussed for years. It has a lot of new stuff. It's put everything together in one place. You know, I think it's really useful, and board members should, whether you're a membership or program or, you know, whatever you are, should take a look at it just to see, because everybody could benefit from this. I mean, to me, it's rather daunting, given the size of our branch and the resources of our members. You know, I'd love to do all the stuff you list, but we're going to have to pick and choose because we just don't have the
Sure.
bodies to do a lot of this stuff.
That's right.
And I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, with Site Resources, if they do websites, do they do social media site things too? They don't, do they?
Mm-mm.
No,
If
they do
one were
not.
to feed them things to do, okay, I was just
No,
curious.
you have to have your
Yeah,
own person.
Yeah.
Sharon,
So
we're
anyway,
about out
I
of
just
time.
wanted to say you guys did an excellent job.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you
We're-
to Marcia and the whole team that worked really hard. And there were a lot of people, probably 30 people worked on this.
Yeah, and it took
So-
a long time,
Yeah.
over a year. So,
So,
okay, we're going to conclude here. Want to remind people this was recorded and it'll be posted under our website. And we'll send a link to everybody who signed up for this tonight with the link to the toolkit and the link to the recording. So you can share that with the rest of your branch. Join us next month in November, and we're going to, at our peer group meeting on the 28th, we'll be talking about best practices for attracting new members. You're going to hear from a branch that successfully recruited 35 new members at one event and 17 new college women at their CU event. We'll also be talking about branches that were struggling and survived with the help of our branch support team. And then we'll have a brief discussion of the non-renewing member survey results that Marcia referred to earlier. But we also want to hear from all of you. So if you could, from each branch, put together an idea or a success story around recruiting new members and email us at branch-development.com@aauw-ca.org, and we'll send that out in the email as well. We'd like to hear from you by November 24th. We'll collect the best ideas and compile them and talk about them in our November meeting, but also distribute ideas to you in a document. So thank you very much for
Am I
everybody.
still on? This is Toby. Am I still on mute? I changed to another device.
No, you're not,
you're
but
not.
we're kind of
Okay.
concluding the meeting.
Yeah, we're
so if there's-
concluding. Okay.
So,
I have corrected information about CU members, so somebody can contact me.
Okay, that'd be great.
Students.
Thank you, everybody, for participating tonight. We hope to see you again next month. And I encourage you to tell other branch leaders about our program and our upcoming month's topics and ask them to join us. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you in November. Thanks. Bye-bye.